This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at Stockton Con.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of Stockton Con. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We gonna shut this shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Alrighty, we are here, we are live right here on YouTube. This is the Value Wrestling. This is your post-show review for Monday Night Raw for April 22nd, 2024. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this something. My brain had a thought and just went by that. So, anywho, I'm the Big Time along with Paulus, Clarke. We're going to review Monday Night Raw. We're going to do the thing. Yeah. It was an okay show. Yes, it was an okay show. I know we're holding in the holding period. Hopefully, we get some changes after the holding period. But I think there was a few things they could have done different tonight than the way it did wind up going. But overall, a decent show. We got through it. I know probably everybody's like, last night was better, and it's like, okay, you can't compare apples and oranges right now. It's not the same thing. Give me a freaking break. The trolls will be trolls, right?
Two bloody different products also. So.
Anyways, we opened the show with Jey Uso. Jey Uso comes out talking about being a number one contender. Damian Priest comes out. They chit-chat back and forth. And, a somewhat okay segment. Really didn't build or add to anything. And they've got 2 weeks, as they're telling you, 1 week from this Saturday, honestly. So it's like they didn't do a lot of build. Eventually, Danny McDonough came out here. He got in the way, which led to Jey Uso super kicking Damian Priest. He meant to go for JD, but he hit Priest instead. And yeah, it was an interesting moment. Wasn't one of the better moments. It I don't know. It was okay. Hopefully they'll do something more after this draft thing to help build this up. We know that somehow Jey Uso is going to get fed to Damian Priest. How that's all going to play out. They even mentioned it on here. Oh, you think I'm just someone that's getting fed to the system? So it was kind of funny. They're making jokes at themselves. But it was an okay segment to open the show.
It's interesting that they actually made that kind of meta. It's like, because we all know, we're all kind of in on it. For those of you, it's like you watched in the last wrestling just for a little while, you kind of get where they're going with it. And you're like, really? You're making it that obvious?
Yeah.
You're going to make meta jokes?
Yeah. Kind of hard to get excited about. From there, we got the tag team title match. The World Tag Team Championships are on the line. DIY versus the Awesome Truth. It was a good, solid match between all four of these men. A lot of back and forth. A lot of moments here where DIY seemed to possibly be the winner. I don't know why we're establishing the Awesome Truth as a tag team. It's great. It was a fun moment at WrestleMania, but I'm like, the Miz and R-Truth are like, nah. I'm like, I just can't get behind it. It's like, cool, they're here. Anyways, I thought we'd get this loss here to DIY because this is like DIY's fourth or fifth chance to win these tag team titles. And I'm just kind of like, okay, this should be the moment for DIY. And in the end, no, we get a truth-crushing finale on Johnny Gargano, the 1, 2, 3. After the match, the tag team champions celebrate. Johnny Gargano shakes their hands. Tommaso Ciampa doesn't shake anybody's hands, and so it sets up for the possibility of Tommaso Ciampa turning heel or maybe being disgruntled. Is it going to turn on Johnny and break up another tag team already? Like we just got started with DIY. Are they going to turn Johnny heel? Are they going to make DIY a whole heel tag team? I'm not real happy with Triple H in this booking because he did really good with them before. I guess that's the problem. We know what the potential of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa against each other, together with each other, is we know Triple H knows how to book them to get them over, and it's like right now I'm like, why are we not getting there? I'm like, we know it's right here. Let's relive this moment that you redacted screwed up in the end when we were going to have the greatest match of NXT, one of the greatest matches at least in NXT, and Redacted had to get his fingers on the toys and ruin that whole thing, and now here we are, and I'm like, I guess I'm just expecting this thing, and I guess you're going to go in a different direction. I don't know. Hopefully we get a DIY turn to a heel when they join up with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell and Tommaso Ciampa. Does Dexter Lumis come back? Does Austin Theory join this group? It can get really confusing if you really want to dive into it, but I'm like,
I think Theory's doing his thing right now with Waller.
yeah, well, for now. So, I mean, it is what it is. I can't get excited about it. I'm just kind of like, okay, Miz and Truth are still your champions. How is this going to play out? And who else is contending for these titles realistically right now on Monday Night Raw?
Power of the pen, and then unfortunately we're the fans, so we don't know. It's rough, but by the same token, like, did you really want Austin Truth to have that short of a tag title reign? I mean, I expect it to be short. I expect them to be transitional champions, but that short?
Yeah. The only reason they really won was to give R-Truth this WrestleMania moment. I'm over it.
I understand.
Miz and R-Truth just don't really do much for me. Miz has done everything, so there's not a lot for the Miz to do. R-Truth is just kind of like, he's great comedy relief, but I mean, it's just like, they don't do much for me. It's just kind of like, cool. The nostalgia act is over for me. It was like, they won the titles. Okay, I give them their props. Okay, can we move on to make the tag team titles at least feel serious? I just feel with the Miz and R-Truth, it's like, hey, we're having fun. Which I know people are behind, and if you like that stuff, cool. But I'm just like, I want to feel like the tag team division's serious now, because we haven't had a real tag team division in WWE in years. And, every time we think the tag team division's going to be taken seriously, the ball gets dropped. Now, the recent years with the Usos carrying the titles for the longest reign, at least they felt some prestigiousness, but now that they've broken up these titles, created brand new titles, it's like, I want these titles to feel like they start off with some prestigiousness. And Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, even though they're kind of a comedy duo, they're more heelish, and it fits their characters way more, and I can understand it and can't wait to see them get their butts kicked, Like, I understand they're going to sneak around and probably have those tag team titles for a while. But I accept that one. It's like, now I got over here, I have like comedy heels and comedy baby faces holding both the titles. And I'm like, no, I need a serious tag team holding one set of these titles to make the tag team division somewhere feel like prestige or something exciting, or have some, moving forward.
So I guess I shouldn't bring up the AEW tag team champions.
Well, fuck those guys. They're the biggest jokes in professional wrestling right now. The flippity floppity flip flop twins can go suck a giant turkey leg. I mean, I don't give a hoot about them. They got Mayonnaise over there working as their side chick and destroying him too. But people are like, oh, he's so great. Okada and Pac had the second best match on the card. And I'm like, no, they had a match. It was just kind of boring, but whatever. I guess TNA has the best tag team. I don't even know who the tag team champions are over there.
Awesome Truth and the World Heavyweight or World Tag Team titles.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I just feel the way I feel about it. I'm like, okay, get the belts off Truth and Miz. Can we at least have like something? I want something to feel important. Like, give me a tag team division to get inspired behind. Like, both companies are just failing at really getting tag team titles over. And one company has like 3-4 sets of them. One company has 2 sets of them. And there's just tag team wrestling is not, I guess I'm kind of nostalgic. And that's one reason I'm really back FTR. I'm nostalgic for that early 80s or late 80s, early 90s tag teams. I miss this, the true devoted tag teams, the Hart Foundation, Demolition, the Rockers, the Twin Towers, the Powers of Pain, the Steiner Brothers, Doom, Harlem Heat. I mean, or one of Value Wrestling's favorites, American Males. Hell, can I get the Hollywood Blondes even? That was one of the greatest underutilized tag teams hell, can we get the Midnight Express type of tag teams? I just want something to feel important in the tag team division on one of these companies, and it's just they're not there.
You're not wrong.
Backstage, Priest is yelling at JD. Dominic's here. He's got his arm in a sling, so Escobar's going to take his place. So we have Escobar teaming up with JD to take on team up, and they don't say here. I forget who they take on later. So Priest isn't happy. Gunther's here,
Ricochet
and Andrade El Idolo. Yes.
Gunther.
So Gunther is here. He took some time away to think. For 66 days, he elevated the IC title. This also means for 2 years, he walked around with a big target on his back and the pressure of living up to everyone. His own high expectations. The weight is now on Sami Zayn. No matter which brand he's drafted on, he's going to be on, and he eventually sets up that he's going to be the next King of the Ring, which brought out Xavier Woods' New Day, and Xavier Woods thinks he's Xavier Woods thinks he's going to be the King of the Ring too, because he's going to be a 2-time King of the Ring, and I don't think that's going to happen. And this sets up a match between New Day and Imperium, and we got a decent little solid match out of New Day and Imperium, and eventually New Day get the big win here. Clothesline to Kaiser to the outside. Woods kicks him, hops on the apron, tags to Kofi. Kofi with the backbreaker. Wood flies in with an elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. Vinci takes the cover. Gunther gets pissed. He tosses a chair and sounds down Kaiser and then leaves. Woo Kaiser goes in the ring and grabs Vinci. He helps him up and walks him out to the ring, giving him a big hug and embracing him. He waits for Vinci to get out of the ring, whispers something in his ear, then shoots him into the apron, and Kaiser turns on Vinci pretty viciously. I mean, it was a pretty vicious attack by Kaiser on Vinci. So yeah, I don't know what this means for Imperium. I'm assuming they're no longer together. Kaiser's going to go on his own way. Vinci's now going to be the Marty Jannetty of this group, because I don't know where they take him from here. And yeah, not a lot of hype here. It was a decent match. I mean, we've seen Imperium versus New Day, and this was more about just splitting them. It was a good highlight. I mean, Kaiser definitely showed out his aggression, and so we'll have to see where it goes.
I don't think there's any coming back from this round. Yeah,
like I said, the best thing for Vinci is probably go to NXT and repackage him in some form or another, and hopefully they do something with him. Otherwise, Kaiser looks like he's on his way to be a singles champion, and they built him to kind of be that guy. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you all 100%. Because Vinci's been through back in NXT a repackage, I just don't know. I don't know. It's been some time, so maybe Shawn Michaels will have some new, fresh ideas. Because when he was repackaged, Shawn wasn't the head at the time. So I don't know. We'll see.
From there, we get an Andrade video package. And Judgment Day trying to take advantage of Andrade. Dom was never loyal, blah, blah, blah. And we get that moment of Andrade basically saying Dominic and Judgment Day were just trying to use him. Anyway, from there, yes, from there, Drew makes his way down the ring. He sits down cross-legged in the ring, a la CM Punk style. He continues to blame everybody for his faults. This actually he has a new target now. He's going to be in the King of the Ring tournament too. This brings out Sheamus. Sheamus comes out and basically talks about their friendship, how they've known each other for 20 plus years, and tells Drew that it's his fault. He let himself get distracted, and then this led to one of the highlights of the night when Sheamus talked about they had banger after banger after banger. Drew's comeback was, we had banger, but your return looks like you've been having burger after burger after burger. Sheamus laughs that off, and He tells Drew to stop blaming everyone else for his mistakes. Drew says he doesn't care about Sheamus. Sheamus is basically beneath him. And, Drew walks past him. He only fights if it's worth the while, and it's not worth the while. He is still there for Sheamus. He will go ringside and stand by the table and watch Sheamus is back.
I actually like this promo only because they didn't do the stereotypical, well, we're going to fight now. Like, no, they're still, at least at this point, they're still friends. They may have opposing views, kind of a la Sting and Luger, where one was aligned still face, one was still aligned heel. But they were still friends, and like that to me always makes more of an interesting story than going down the trope of, okay, now we're going to fight. You know, we've done this 20 million times. So, personally, I liked how the direction this went.
Miguel, how does the WWE tag teams mean something? They're basically new tag teams. They've been separated. I mean, I know the lineage is trying to be there, but they've been recreated, so it's kind of new tag teams. So I don't know what you mean by they mean something. I think either company is really doing their best to make the tag team champions feel important. And one company's got 4.
In those words, doing their best? Definitely not.
No. Well, I mean, I think the SmackDown titles look better. They look like the best tag team titles that exist right now. And at least it makes sense with them, and hopefully they'll create something out of that. AEW's tag team division is garbage. Their Ring of Honor tag team division is garbage. Their Trios 6-man tag titles are garbage now. It's just like they got so garbage with their Trios titles, they had to unify them with the Ring of Honor 6-man titles. And it's kind of like, nah.
That's why in TNA, no one can beat the system.
Except the broken one.
Well, he hasn't beat the system yet. As in the stable, not,
Yes. No, I know. Anyways, from there, we had Shinsuke Nakamura take on Sheamus. I thought Shinsuke was going to get a win here, but no. Sheamus flips Shin up for a Celtic cross, but Shin floats out, hits a knee, kicks to Sheamus, runs right into a bro kick. Sheamus goes down, or Shinsuke Nakamura goes down 1, 2, 3. To Sheamus, who gets a big win. Yes, Drew caused Shinsuke to be distracted for a brief moment when he was going for a Kinshasa. I don't get the point of this. Why does Shinsuke lose every time we see him on TV?
On one hand, they've given him better promo ability, with the vignettes and with the subtitles and whatnot. But they're not backing it up with anything in the ring. He still performs well in the ring.
No.
But they're not getting wins, and I don't understand that either.
No, it is very confusing on what they're doing or where they're going with this, or how they're going with this at the moment. But Shinsuke, I'm just like, okay. Sheamus comes out with a win. It's going to continue his feud, I guess, with Drew McIntyre until we wait for CM Punk to get healed. Gosh, this show's just not really that exciting to talk about. It was just very, nah. And I get it. We have the draft coming up. They're just trying to get through, but I'm like, could we not get a little more here or there? Anyways, we're backstage with Sami Zayn, with Jackie Redmond. He says he's got a lot to say about Chad Gable, but Gable has said he's going to the ring later to explain himself, so he'll wait for that. Sami gets attacked by Bronson Reed, so it looks like Bronson Reed is trying to get into the title contention picture. So we'll see how that goes. Chad Gable's in the ring with Alpha Academy, and you can kind of like this, kind of don't. Chad Gable says after what happened to Sami backstage, it's safe to say he's had a rough couple of weeks. Basically, Gable's complaint was Gable lost and he respected Sami, but then Sami had to crawl over and lay the title out in front of him while he was crying in the corner. And then he gloated when he was hugging his wife and celebrating with his kids and made Chad Gable do it. Chad goes on. Chad turns to Akira Tozawa and does Akira have a problem with that? Say something. Gable has a problem with him. All he does is his little dance and rack up loss after loss after loss. He then turns to the magazine and says, pretty as a princess but dumb as a box of rocks. What else does he have to do? He's given her everything and got nothing in return. Then he goes, and then don't get me even started about Otis. Otis is his prized pupil, his number one guy, and he has proven himself to be the biggest disappointment of them all. Gable tells them to back up. This is right here why they signed up. For honest feedback to show them how to get better. They can't be mad at him for this. Get on the same page and know that from now on, they will all focus on Gable. They will all win his IC title back together. They will help him no matter what, right? He wants them to say it. Gable asks Otis first, say it. Otis says no matter what, and Gable says good and leave. Great promo and excellent. Mr. Miguel Z, take that nasty and go give it to the degenerate George. Don't come in here with nasty right now. I don't even need.
That's totally any airtime.
I don't even need this. Why are you even bringing it? Yeah, it's nasty. Anywho, I like the Chad Gable promo in this. His belittlement of his people, I get the understanding, but I was very disappointed in him having saying Otis go. They're just like now Otis has no backbone. Akira Tozawa, Maxine. I'm like,
They're gonna run this part of the angle until they finally get fed up. They'll have a backbone at some point. They're like, the trope.
I know, but this didn't help me. This didn't excite me. I'm like, Chad Gable just needs to leave them and be done with them, and let Akira Tozawa go back to where he was. Maxine will hopefully maybe they work her with Ivy Nile in a tag team for a while, and then Otis. Maybe they let Otis try to be something. I mean, let him be a singles guy and have a full run, and I don't know.
It's just the mid card. I mean, like that dude has potential.
Yes, there's a lot there.
He's shown that he has. They just they'll lift it up for a while, and then they're like, we're gonna cool him off now, for whatever reason.
Dominic walks up to Ricochet. Ricochet tells Dom he was really looking forward to beating him. They have a back and forth, but he will settle it with Santos and JD. Dom and his mustache make fun of Ricochet as he leaves, and here's Liv Morgan having a stare down with Dom, and gets a lot of reaction from the crowd. Anyway, Santos Escobar and JD McDonough versus Ricochet and Andrade. A good solid match here. They get chance of shave your mustache to Dom. Excuse me. Andrade, great. Andrade sends JD off the top rope, and we get Santos hitting a Rana to Ricochet, but he lands on JD. Andrade with a running back elbow. La Sombra for the 1, 2, 3. Good solid match between these four guys. Andrade looking good. Ricochet coming out looking good too. Priest eventually comes in the ring and attacks Andrade, and then hits a Razor's Edge on Ricochet, and then a South of Heaven on Andrade. He tells John on the apron that he doesn't need him, he doesn't need them, and they don't need him. JD doesn't understand because he said it in Spanish, but Damien tells him in English exactly what he just said. So it looks like Judgment Day is finally showing fractures. It looks like Damian Priest is walking out on his own. JD and Dominic Mysterio look like the Lost Boys. Hopefully they don't run into any vampires. If you don't know the joke, then I don't know what to tell you about classic movies from the 80s. Or was that the early 90s? I don't know. Go look it up.
80s.
Yeah. Great movie. Even if you're not a vampire fan, like this is not a hardcore like you have to be a vampire fan. This is great classic cinema. This is one of those cult-like following movies when you talk about Goonies and Breakfast Club and Lost Boys and The Outsiders. These were just great cinematic films. You don't necessarily have to love vampires to really enjoy this great film. Anyways, any thoughts on this tag team match?
It was cool. I don't know if there's really much to add to it.
I know.
Even this match felt like it was a part of the holding pattern.
Yes.
It was a match to throw out there just to kind of get this show continuing. But
no,
I don't see it having any far-reaching implications at this point.
No, a lot of Raw tonight was just holding pattern stuff. I'm excited to get the SmackDown, get this draft going so we can get the official reset going, move on, start seeing what we need to, building storylines. because we really didn't get any storylines. They kind of had the Jey Uso, Damian Priest storyline, but it really just, it didn't get you, it didn't add to the match they're going to have. You're just like, okay, these are two guys. They should have a fairly good match. Priest is going to win because it's too short and Jay's not ready for that moment yet. How they're going to do that, I don't know yet. It's a wait and see how they're going to screw Jay, because I don't know if Damian's going to get a clean pin over Jay or if you're going to have some other factors. Of course, a lot of rumors and speculations. Jacob Fatu scheduled to make his appearance this week. Maybe he has some impact on this. I don't know. We shall have to wait and see how it all plays out. I know Jey Uso isn't winning, but I also don't know if you can beat Jey Uso cleanly. I don't know if it takes him down a peg. It's a hard one to call.
Yeah, that's what exactly a loss would do for him. It would take him down a bit.
From there was the Women's World Championship.
Time for your
main event.
I was going to do a whole little bit, that's all right.
Now it's time for your main event. Is that better? Are you happy now? Did you get your little Tony Khan moment out of there? Did you get your Mark moment? Anyways, the Women's World Championship match battle royal. We had Nia Jax, Piper Niven, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Maxine, Ivy Nile, Natalya, Chelsea Green, and Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Liv Morgan. First out, Candice gets eliminated by Maxine in about 2 minutes. Indy with big boots her, then tries to send her out, but Maxine eliminates Indy. So Maxine gets a big moment here, eliminating Indy and Candice, who she's had problems with. We come back from a break. Nia Jax eliminates Ivy Nile with ease. Maxine tries to defend her friend, but Nia shoves her. Nia misses a right high kick from Maxine, then a pump kick, and a third enziguri sends Nia into the ropes. She tries for another, but Nia grabs her boot and sends her out of the ring. Becky Lynch eliminates Piper Niven. Niven then drags Becky out of the ring and sends her into the steps. Then Piper does a running cannonball on the Becky. While in the ring, Chelsea Green is going ham on Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is just standing there taking it in a funny moment here. Back while Piper tears up the announce table, Nia is outside. She hits a choke slam on Piper onto Becky on the table. The table doesn't break, so Nia lifts Piper up on her back, gets her in a Samoan drop, and drops her on the Becky. And the table still did it, motherfucking troublebreaker MFT break. Anyways, Becky and Piper are knocked out on the table. Natalya fights Chelsea to the corner. We go back. We come back from another commercial break. Commentary says that Becky has not been eliminated, but she is out cold on the table. Zoe is able to eliminate Chelsea. Shayna sends Natty out the ring too. We have Nia, Liv, Shayna, Zoe while Becky is out. Nia eliminates Zoe. Shayna rushes Nia in the corner. Nia sends her to the apron. Nia shoves Shayna. Zoe tries to catch her, but Baszler is eliminated. Becky is up, and the crowd loves it. Becky's back in. Kick to Nia. Right hand to Liv. Nia smashes her in the corner. Liv sends her flying drop kick to the back. Nia with a Samoan drop to Becky. One to Liv. Nia sends both girls to the apron. They hang on. Enter back in the ring. They both try to suplex Nia, but Nia blocks it and sends them both into a suplex. Nia drags Liv and Becky to the corner to go for the Annihilator. She wants to finish them both, but both girls are up and sends Nia to the apron. Becky with the right hand. Nia fights back, gets to the corner. Codebreaker by Liv on Nia. Leg drop, Famouser onto the back of Nia's head, and Nia is eliminated. We're down to Becky and Liv. And here's where it gets interesting. You would think Liv would be the right person to win this match. Becky climbs, flies, rolled through. We get a German suplex attempt, but Liv with the back elbow. Another Liv kicks out. Another kick to the go. Codebreaker to Becky. Liv tries Oblivion, but Becky turns it into a manhandle slam. And this is all on the apron. Liv falls to her feet, and Becky is your winner. They gave 21 minutes to this. Somebody gave this a 4 stars. I guess you can see some 4 stars in there. It was a great moment. Becky Lynch is now your women's world champion. And I feel like Triple H and WWE, I have to call it out, took the safe route. I think this was the moment to really give Liv the title, build Liv up as I don't know if you build her up as a heel But you could break her, but you could play into the crazy Liv, let her just dominate for, is it till SummerSlam or is it till Rumble whenever you decide to bring Rhea back? Why not build Liv up to be this beast who runs through the women's division? You could have her and Becky have a match. That would be a hell of a banger. At SummerSlam, Liv comes up top. So when Rhea finally returns, and Rhea's going to be a babyface when she returns. So I mean, you've got
He already practically is.
I know. So she's going to be a major babyface when she returns. So that's the other kicker to all of this. So putting on Becky, I'm like, I don't need heel Becky. We had long enough with heel Becky, and heel Becky was not really that great of a thing, anyways. The only thing heel Becky did was give a whole lot of outfits to Seth Rollins to wear nowadays. But just tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyways, Becky wins. I have to say it's a safe thing. WWE took the safe route, the easy way out, giving it to Becky. I think this should have been Liv's night. This could have been Liv's moment. They could have built Liv up to be this huge thing. Now that doesn't mean that Backlash we don't get Becky versus Liv and then Liv beats Becky at Backlash. Really wouldn't make sense, but maybe they want to carry that out a little longer to have some title matches. Maybe they're gonna have some back and forth. This feud's not over; it just started, so maybe there's reasons to it. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out from here.
Not knowing what the future holds, if Becky was meant to have the belt, it should have happened at WrestleMania, in my estimation.
Yes.
I was convinced it was Liv's night tonight, just with the story that they've been setting, because it plays itself out for when Rhea does return.
Yes, the long-term booking,
That's not
yes.
what happened. Exactly. That's not what happened, so now we are going to see what happens, I guess. I'm not mad that Becky's champion, because I am a Becky Lynch fan, but I think they could have done something different. And that is that difference.
I love Becky, and Becky's great with the title. I just don't think, it's a new era because we got somebody new, so guess we'll have to see how this all plays out going forward from here. Possibly the title belts are going to switch brands because I think Cody's going to be on Raw, and since the titles match, I'm assuming they're going to have to bring Bayley over to Raw, and so Becky's probably going to SmackDown, which means Seth Rollins is probably going to SmackDown, and Damian Priest is probably going to SmackDown after this draft.
Yeah, particularly the couples they try to keep together, the real life couples.
Well, Becky and Seth still haven't signed as far as we know, so I'm sure they're not trying to divide them or keep them separated. But Finn Balor did resign, so AEW tribalists can cry in a river of their own tears.
They can drown on it. Never mind.
Yes, no. Anywho, it was Raw. I can't really do much to hype it. It would be a joke to try and get too much behind it. If you enjoyed it for what it was, then that's great. But it was a basic show. I know they're in a holding pattern. But I felt a few places they just missed the mark. It was a disappointing Raw for what I'm getting. We were getting going really good, and now we kind of slowed down way too much. So hopefully after the draft, we can be back onto the pedal hardcore.
See, I thought it was a good Raw. I don't know what average would be at this point, and it definitely wasn't awesome.
No.
So personally, on our poll, I had to vote good.
Alrighty. Well, there's not a lot to say. I hate the fact that we're under 40 minutes in this whole thing, but yeah. I don't know what to push any more than this. It was a show. We got there. We thank you for being here. We thank you for joining us. If you're watching this later, we hope that you'll give us a thumbs up. Make sure you ring that bell for notifications. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Value Wrestling family. We're on our march to get to the next level. We got a lot of things coming forward. We got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things that we want to do. We're just trying to reach that next big level. And yeah. We got things in the work, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be back. I'll be back on Wednesday with your Dynamite post-show review. Tomorrow you will have Miguel Z bringing you the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast that comes out every Tuesday right here on the Value Wrestling, right here on YouTube. So make sure you tune into that, find out everything about New Japan Pro Wrestling, learn what's going on over there. get your established stars, so when they show up in AEW, you don't have to rely on Tony Khan trying to tell you who these guys are. You can just watch Tony Khan ruin them. But anywho, well, who from New Japan has he not ruined other than Ospreay? And Ospreay is just so far over that I don't know if you can ruin him.
Don't give him that challenge. He'll take you up on it.
Anyways, then there's this week in preview coming every Thursday. So Mr. Clarke's behind getting that all set up. That tells you about all the things that are coming up from wrestling from Thursday to the next Wednesday. And then me and Mr. Clarke will be here back Friday with your SmackDown post-show review, which will have the draft. So it should have more to talk about, be more exciting, be more energetic. So be ready for that. And then we are always here at Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with your not with your post-show, with your weekly roundup podcast. And then it's game on. So we'll see what's going on. So check everything out. Always new videos, always new content. Ring the bell for a notification. We will see you on the next one. Tell them goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, sir.